Now, Tonkachi and Renka actually saw a ship, which they actually thought that Shovel is actually came back to get them, but they actually saw a house, which is actually not a ship at all. But we saw a man actually swim towards the house trying to get his pants back. But we actually knew that that house is not just a house. It is actually called a house beast. But this man using his stroke, stroke slash to use whip saw on the house, which he actually cut it down, but it actually repaired itself, which they actually explain as a house beast, which monsters that disguise themselves as house to lure victims, which Tonkachi actually knew, but they don't actually know where they heard it from. But we saw him using his Fokker hammer and defeat the house beast, but it was no use until he actually saw the house beast actually was knocked out. But we saw the man actually pull his pants up and actually recognize the hammer was belongs to Shovel, in which they knew that this man actually recognized Shovel as well, because he actually knew that Tonkachi and Renka are his apprentices, by which they won't listen to him for any reason. But we actually saw them introduce themselves, in which they say that they build house for peace, but they actually knew want to know his name, which his name is not a Strider. He's actually Steel Jack, which he actually say that he was trained by Shovel, which kind of makes them family, in which the house beast actually rebuilt himself, which is actually larger, knowing that they're actually was capable of. I mean, was that Hammer has the ability to destroy and rebuild, which the front and back actually explains it, which the front actually used to build, but the back is actually used to destroy, which the house beast actually erupts and actually shows treasure actually shoots out of the roof, which they actually knew that this house beast actually was stolen treasure from carpenters everywhere, by which we seen how Nana was actually had his pin stolen by the house beast, but we actually knew that Tonkashi actually stanked the house, but we actually knew that the house eaters were going to come and eat the house beast, but we actually knew that they actually say that they were actually recognize the buildings, but they say that there's no fairy tale, but they actually tell us about how the Bill Kings build houses that brings calamity and kings of houses in which the legend passed on to generations. So we actually knew what they had to do. But Renka told them that amongst the bills are the ones they will actually have to save from natural disasters. So we actually knew that they would have to save the houses from those disasters, which that actually means they actually try to save the houses with Nada's help, which Nada saw how the boy's abilities to be loved by houses and those who actually they build, which the house does have a mind of its own. So we're going to see what they're going to do now on the next chapter next weekend. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment or anything about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, and my Facebook page. Until then, this is Anime God Journey here saying signing out. Laters and be safe.